Good evening, friends. We have started preparing for this festival all the way back in January, which is symbolized by the costumes that me and Lina are wearing. As you can see, we have never stopped and have never taken the clothes off, but I guess the time has come, yes? June is just around the corner. I guess we can drop the hats off and we can take the jackets off. We're supposed to do this in an elegant manner. This is a nice little performance at the beginning of the opening ceremony to put you all at ease. Only well-trained people can do this in an elegant manner. I'm doing it the way I can do it. Oh, I have a helper here. Thank you. In the meantime, we are happy to welcome you at the 23rd Docudays UA Film Festival. Should perhaps keep it on, you know, in half a year it's going to get cold again. Right, my name is Angelina Karyakina, my name is Maxim Sherbina, and the theme of this year's festival is simple structures, as you could have noticed. This includes tents in the middle of the room, keeping us warm and keeping us safe, as Russia was trying to plunge us into coldness and darkness. This includes fishing nets over our heads to protect us from drones. This also includes simple things that seem simple, such as being able to offer help and being prepared to do something here and now. Simple structures are supported by a very strong foundation that has no price because lives were given for it by those who are defending us, which is why we want to start this festival with, unfortunately, a traditional minute of silence. Let us honor those who can no longer join us. Thank you. Simple structures is about things that seem obvious, but in fact, they hold the world up. This includes human rights, democracy, solidarity, mutual responsibility. And today we will be studying at this festival what pillars are helping us stay resilient under the pressure of war and what we need to carry into the future. Corruption can seem a relatively simple structure, but the dynasty cooperative ultimately ended up not being constructed. This is a relevant joke, you know, haha. Hey, funny. The visual solution for this year's festival is the double pendulum that draws chaotic structures, but then they end up being a harmonic circle. So Max, please launch it. You can't imagine just how great it is and how happy I am to have the pleasure of launching it. Maxim has been trained. Let's go. Whee! Look at that. Well, that is what harmonic structures and circles can look like. Look, all of us are adults here, right? You know this sometimes happens. Okay, this seems to be the proper way to do it. Alrighty, since Max has already launched the pendulum, I wanted to share with you that we also want to take care of our safety and security during the festival. The closest shelter is at Kontraktowa Ploshcha metro station, and we proceed to it should an air raid alert begin. That's where we wait for the all clear and for news from Docudays as to our further actions. You can watch for news in the Telegram channel of the festival. And this year, together with the Hurkit Charitable Foundation and the charitable organization Svoyi, we will be running a fundraiser for evacuation transport and for treating the wounded. This is support for people who require emergency evacuations, respiratory assistance, or difficult rehabilitation after being wounded. Each contribution offers a chance to be saved, to be treated, and to continue living in dignity. We will be running the fundraiser throughout the festival, but those of you who are the most impatient can already scan the QR code and make a contribution. I am watching how you're raising your phones right now and scanning the pretty large QR code on your screens. We can see the final rows raising your phones and making donations, whichever amount is comfortable for you. These QR codes will be available at each festival location, so even if you didn't have the chance to scan it right now, perhaps you were distracted, you can still make a donation later, and of course we will be reporting on the way the costs have been utilized. Today, 185 people were returned from Russian captivity, but thousands more are waiting to be freed. The motto of "People are key" has sounded at multiple meetings to mark the anniversary of the full-scale invasion across 31 cities in 18 countries of the world. We are talking about the event held by the Center for Civil Freedoms, which reminds us continuously that we must remember the people being kept captive by Russia. And so we have the honor of inviting Alexandra Matviichuk, head of the Center for Civil Liberties and Nobel Peace Prize laureate, for an important and symbolic happening. It was the first time that I heard about the principle of leave no one behind during the Euromaidan revolution. Euromaidan SOS at the time was compiling lists of wounded for underground hospitals, and one of the medics commended us and said, "That's right, no one left behind," as Navy SEALs in the US say. And I thought to myself, what a great principle, what a great rule. It does not offer a guarantee, but this is a very honest commitment of us not leaving our people behind, of us struggling for our people. And this realization that you are being fought for is something that gives people strength to push through unimaginable circumstances. And so there's nothing strange about the fact that this principle underpins the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals for the UN until 2030. Unfortunately, it's been over 12 years now that dozens of thousands of Ukrainians are rotting in Russian prisons. This includes civilians, military personnel, women, men, even children. And on a daily basis, rights defenders, their relatives, their friends, representatives of the Ukrainian government, Ukrainian institutions are doing something to bring these people back home and to ensure they are freed. And until that happens, that they stay alive. And we already have a tradition formed that every year at this film festival, we run a solidarity activity. It's showing our solidarity with people who we are fighting for. It was in these rooms that we fought for the freedom of Oleg Sentsov, of Maxim Butkevich, and we can see that this daily action works. And I'm not sure how long we will continue to run these solidarity actions in these cinema halls, in the sense that I don't know how long it needs to continue in terms of dates, but I know we will keep doing it until the day when we are certain that no one has been left behind. I would kindly ask you to reach into your pockets and take out your keys. Those of you who were here a year ago will remember that this is the simplest symbol of home. And if you can, please reach into your pockets and take out your keys. You also have the sheets of paper on your seats, and you can raise your keys, raise the notices, just for our photographers and videographers to be able to record this. I suggest, if you can, that you stand up. And if we are ready, please, let's go ahead and jingle our keys to remind each other that we will not leave those who are being kept by Russia behind.
Thank you so much. We won't leave anyone behind. Thank you so much, Alexandra. So this is our tradition, not to jingle our bells and to raise those paper sheets, but also to mention the names of those people that we are waiting for. Thank you so much. I hope it will become our tradition. In total, during the 23rd Docudays UA Film Festival, we will screen 82 films from 36 countries and 4 continents, from Ecuador to Cape Verde, including 33 Ukrainian films, 12 national premieres and 8 world premieres. For the first time ever, we will stage a documentary performance which will take place at the Left Bank Theatre. We also invite you to visit the open-air lecture series right now, which will take place right here in front of Zhovten cinema in the morning. During Coffee with Human Rights Activist event, we will raise questions related to the ethics of new technologies, as a war, as a language of security, taking back Ukrainians from captivity. We will discuss all those issues. This year we invited people with the experience of life in occupation to our living library, veterans who went through heavy fighting in captivity and who were also able to recover from injuries. There are also Rooms and Roma who are trying to preserve their own identity and culture, and people with disabilities who are fighting for accessibility of their life. We're talking about simple structures that hold the world together. The European Union is one of these, and for the second year in a row, the EU delegation to Ukraine supports our festival, where democracy is not declared by practice. So we give the floor to Katarina Maternova, Ambassador of the European Union to Ukraine. Over to you, Katarina.
Друзі, дуже непросто виступати з пані Олександри, і після тої акції, яка щойно відбулася, вона підкидає мене у спогади до 1989 року, я родом зі Словакії, тоді Чехословакії. І ми проводили аналогічні акції тоді на своїй площі, на своїх містах, сподіваючись, що таким чином ми проважаємо в минуле комуністів, комуністичні режими і запрошуємо в своє життя демократію, свободу, гідність, права людини, всі ті речі, які демократичні країни вважають надзвичайно цінними. Тому зараз почуваюся емоційно, і я сподіваюся, що ми з вами теж сьогодні станемо учасниками проводі жахливої агресивної війни, яку Російська Федерація проти України. Вони були заблоковані деякі слова, але зараз це не важко. Нелегко повернутися до сценарію. Було сказано, що 2 роки Радянський Союз підтримує фестиваль Docudays UA, 2018 року, режиму організацію фестивалю, крім суддів, також інтелектуальних членів є активними друзями фестивалю, зокрема з наш Чесі, ще 2014-го підтримує його. І якщо говорити про важливість документального кіно, то це не просто кіно, як розважальна форма. Це про пам'ять, це про історію, це про майбутнє, це про те, аби не забувати те, що було хороше, те, що було складне і будуче. І я людина, яка може це побажати, тому що пережила разом з вами страшні зими цього року. І з огляду на це, мені здається, що тема цьогорічного фестивалю «Позиції» – це успішна ідея, яка голосує собі так багато. Важливо, цінно. Тут ми свідомо, що нас не треба.
Actually, I'm going to come back and see 1 or 2 of the films. So, Slava Ukraini!
Тож, пані посол живе в Україні з вересня 2023 року, але от справді ці 2 місяці цього року, січень, лютий 26-го, це були ті роки, це був той час, який справді підсвітив у дуже концентрованому вигляді те, наскільки неймовірні люди українці. І я знаю, як вас бісить, коли вам говорять, що ви стійкі і застосовують слово стійкість. Але повірте мені, ви є живим втіленням того, що це слово означає. Ваша неймовірна витривалість, ваше неймовірне уміння проявляти інновації, бути творчими у момент неймовірних труднощів, бути солідарними одне з одними, підтримувати одне одного, формувати нові дружби – це щось неймовірне. Я за зиму мала нагоду відвідати десь 5-6 центрів незламності. І те, що я бачила там, це вражає, це важко передати словами. Тому я захоплююся тим, що українці навіть у ці складні часи знаходять в собі сили для творчості і для того, аби цією творчістю насолоджуватися. Сьогодні зранку я починала день із пробіжки в ботсаду, і нас відділяють всього декілька днів від нещодавньої масштабної атаки, але вже я бачила, як жінки фотографують рози, як гуляють з дітьми, як життя продовжується, відновлюється. І ось ця сила, ось ця неготовність за будь-яких обставин здаватися, ось це вміння продовжувати рухатися вперед, це неймовірно. Я на цьому фоні, і я підвожу до того, що за цих обставин продовжувати творити, знімати кіно, писати сценарії, проорганізовувати цей фестиваль – це неймовірно. Я з величезним задоволенням бажаю вам успішного 23-го фестивалю Docudays UA. Європейський Союз надзвичайно пишається тим, що ми підтримуємо цю подію, і чекаємо пані посолку. Вона обіцяє до нас зайти на 1 чи 2 перегляди кіно. Слава Україні, друзі!
І на українському це звучить краще, ніж я на англійському.
Дякуємо дуже, пані посол. Якщо ми вже говоримо про те, що пані посол до нас приїхала.
Okay, thank you so much. To follow our schedule, you don't have to carry a leaflet like it used to be before. You can use this QR code to install the mobile application, which was developed for us by the Art Wizard company. So now you can see the QR code on the screen. To make the festival more accessible, students, school children, and internally displaced persons have a 50% discount, while retired people, combatants, and war veterans can attend film screenings for free. In general, tickets cost from 120 to 180 hryvnias, so that is a standard couple cups of coffee, or just 1 cup of coffee, depends where you buy it from. Yes, if you buy it here in Podol, it costs just like 1 ticket. Okay, let's get back to the program. And this year's main non-competitive program, Simple Structures, we have collected 5 films that reveal 5 different, simple or not simple structures that underline the idea of democratic society. Those are 5 stories about the experience of implementing basic principles that reveal the complexity hidden in each of them. Let us watch a short presentation of the key program of the festival, Simple Structures or Simple Constructions.
Ich sage euch mal die Wahrheit. Nichts als die Wahrheit. Die ganze Wahrheit.
Sehr gut, gleich nochmal.
Наша вышка с корректировщиком. Пожарная вышка, от которой стреляют снайпера по нам. Разбитый танк.
Katarina mentioned that there are several countries of the European Union that support our festival. Sweden remains one of the most consistent partners of Ukraine if we combine military, humanitarian and financial support. This year alone, the country announced a new aid package worth over €1 billion, from strengthening our air defense to aviation to helping children, education and medicine. The total amount of Swedish aid since the start of the full-scale invasion has already exceeded €13 billion. In times of such tectonic shifts in geopolitical structures, there is an idea to consider Central and Eastern Europe as Southern Scandinavia, by the way. In connection with this idea, we want to invite Morten Enberg, Counselor and Deputy Head of Mission of the Embassy of Sweden in Ukraine. Please welcome on stage.
Дуже вам дякую і дуже підтримую вашу ідею щодо.
Thank you so much. I really support your idea about the name. Dear friends, well, Katarina, for you it was very difficult to speak after Alexandra, and for me, of course, it's even more difficult to speak after Alexandra and Ye. Dear friends, dear community, dear Docudays UA, for Sweden it is a great honor to join you at this opening of the 23 Docudays UA Film Festival. In times when Ukraine continues to fight not only for its territory but for the liberty, dignity and democracy, human rights, such platforms as Docudays UA become even more useful. It is dedicated not only to films. This is about memory, responsibility, dignity and human resistance. This year's theme, Simple Structures, reflects the reality that Ukrainians face every day. During this war, simple structures are those that are the most strong, the strongest, caring about each other, respecting each other. This is what makes us all united. Sweden supports Ukraine in its fight for democratic values and contributes to those conversations through film screenings and discussions. The festival, Docudays UA, helps preserve humanity during those dark times. Especially we are inspired by how Docudays continues working during the war, adapting to the new reality and remaining a pillar of democracy in Ukraine, covering all the territory of Ukraine, including hromadas and communities close to the front line. In 2025, traveling Docudays UA Film Festival gathered more than 60,000 viewers in 60 communities in Ukraine, in 20 regions of Ukraine. We cannot but mention the importance of the initiative, which is called War Archive, which collects memories and testimonies in order to bring perpetrators to justice. At those times when the truth is under threat, such efforts are very important. Today's War Archive has one of the biggest independent compilations that document the war of the Russian Federation against Ukraine, which includes more than 44,000 documented war crimes. Sweden remains dedicated to the support of Ukraine, including its civil society, independent culture, human rights defenders, and democratic institutions. Dear friends, simple structures remain because they adapt, because they support, they unite. And probably this is what Ukraine shows to the world. Resilience is built not only on stress, but on solidarity, bravery, culture, and humanity. Thank you so much. I wish all participants and guests of this festival a very inspiring and strong festival. Thank you so much. Glory to Ukraine. Glory to the heroes. Thank you so much for your beautiful Ukrainian. Thank you. Meanwhile, it's time to present this year's festival jury. The Docu World jury includes Katerina Botanova, cultural researcher, curator and writer who lives and works between Ukraine and Switzerland. Eniko Gurescu, director of the International Human Rights Documentary Film Festival, Versio from Hungary. Tomasz Postulka, Czech curator of festival programs and documentary film. Let's take a look at the program video, Docudays World.
يا حبيبي تعال الحج شوف اللي جرالي من بعدك سهرانة من ودي بلاقي خيالك من قلبك ولا كم غرامي هلكني ولا ولا أمنا عم أشكيله نار حبك روحي وقلبي وعقلي وجسمي وجمالي في يدك.
صور مين؟ انتي ليش انتي حلوة؟ ده الصوت.
The jury of the National Documentary Competition Program Docu Ukraine and Docu Shot includes Olga Zhurba, Ukrainian film director, screenwriter and editor, member of the European Film Academy. Anna Lazar, Polish director of the Center for Contemporary Art, Ujazdowski Castle, curator, author, translator, who was head of the Polish Institute in Kiev for a long time and who volunteers a lot in support of Ukraine. Rowan Barry Creekmore, a documentary producer, festival and industry event producer, sales and distribution specialist from Ireland. Let's watch the promo video for the documentary program Docu Ukraine.
Коли давно все було добре, аж доки не прийшов штойк. Розвідується від мало нищили все на своєму шляху.
Трояквакам ячамаги. Сукандим пушти вартанам. Мабритатте.
Ніч, темна ніч. І раптом я бачу солдата із автоматом у руці.
For 2022 I have planned to learn playing piano, have a journey to the Pacific Ocean and other oceans too.
The modern world and makes a significant contribution to the discussion of human dignity, freedom and equality. It includes Petr Pomerantsev, British writer and journalist of Ukrainian origin, one of the leading researchers of modern propaganda, disinformation and information warfare. Olesya Litvinova, volunteer, public figure, veteran of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, film and television director. Yevhen Glibovitsky, co-founder and CEO of the Frontier Institute, which conceptualizes Ukraine's challenges in the areas of security, culture, demography, and public administration, a member of the supervisory board of the public broadcaster of Ukraine, Suspina, and lecturer at the Ukrainian Catholic University. And now we would like to invite to the stage the festival's communication director and member of the selection board, Daria Averchenko.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank our incredible team, our incredible partners, and the Armed Forces of Ukraine for making it so that we are able to gather here again to watch serious films and have discussions about our future. On this stage, I am today with an important mission. At the 23rd Docudays UA, we decided to establish a new prize. A prize dedicated to the memory of a friend, a colleague, a talented video editor, Viktor Onisko. Thank you. One of my brightest memories of Viktor is a spontaneous trip that we took to the island of Jarilhach with our friends and our children with tents, and in the middle of the night we're watching stars fall, and then Vita is not just telling us and our children about the constellations, he's also giving us a lecture on astronomy. He was a multifaceted, talented person, 1,000 hobbies, shooting, motorbikes, snowboarding. He played the guitar, the percussions. He was a DJ. He was a rave animal, and he loved traveling. And Vita never stood aside, and he always took the dignified, honest path. That's because during the Maidan, he was there at the barricades on Hrushevskoe Street, and he volunteered for the army in the first days of the full-scale invasion. Director Ola Zhurba and his wife, Ola Birzo, have produced a mini film about him. For those of you who didn't know him personally, to be able to see how bright and strong he was. The Victor Onisko Prize will be given to the best editing director of a Ukrainian film selected by our jury. The financial prize of 1,000 euros is provided by our partner Arte. Thank you so much, and let's enjoy the short film.
Привіт, Заха. Дивись, де я сплю. Спальник на карематі. Земля, 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 земля. І тут такий дах. І там он ліс. А тут я.
Що? Мама чемпіонки, що скажеш? Заха, що там, є 3 кола?
Оці 3 кола, я їх проїжджала значно швидше, ніж перші.
Як на мене теж. Давай ще один.
Я Тарантино, прийом. Стефанія. Я Тарантино, прийом. Прийом. Привіт з Сходу.
Also this year, in the hall of the second floor of Zhovten Cinema, we will be launching a photo exhibition by Konstantin Huzenko, Transitional State. It represents the state of transitioning from a witness to the war to an active soldier. Konstantin is a photographer who used to work with the Archive of the War project, and then in February 2024 he was mobilized to the 35th Separate Navy SEAL Brigade. He died in service on the 1st of November 2025 as a result of a Russian strike, and he was bestowed the 3rd degree Order for Courage. The Archive of the War platform will present a program of films shot by military personnel called Fragments of Resistance. Ever since the start of the full-scale invasion, multiple artists and documentalists and other media experts have joined the armed forces of Ukraine, and they continue working there. So let's have a look at the promo for this program.
Слева.
Над нами 3 ворожих FPV! 3 ворожих FPV! На удар идет!
Вот дорога пошла, вот столбы.
Все, тепер потихеньку йде.
У минулому році було 10 років. Получається, мій контракт автоматично продовжився.
Але ж ти можеш списатися.
Да, можу. Не хочу.
Ворог лише мертвий перестає бути ворогом. Ти називав себе чоловіком, але тобі соромно. Якби я другий клас йшов на війну, до тебе б не розраховував. Ти таких, як ти, моя душа чорного кольору. Як можеш зберегти документи там, де не зберегли люди. Мертві брати мені мережаться усюди. Ті, кого вбили, ніколи не забуду. Пончені споруди, не друзі, а й люди. Убий ворогів, врятуй Україну. Вже не місце.
This year's interdisciplinary art program DocuSynths focuses on the practices of sensitivity, rethinking, and solidarity. We will demonstrate 2 selections of moving pictures with feminist optics from Ukrainian and British authors, and in the Left Bank Theatre, we will run the Radio Live documentary performance that collects voices to talk about the experience of war and processing it. Docu Pro is the professional platform of Docudays UA for networking and funding Ukrainian documentary filmmaking. It brings together directors, producers, and international experts to create new collaborations and develop the film industry. We will also have Raw Doc represented in the program, a section for cinematographers working on draft cuts of their films and who want to show them and receive professional feedback. We also offer a new educational format for teens called the Docu Camp, curated by Olga Zhurba. Its residents will learn the art of listening, working with interviews, and creating their own stories. As a result, they will work on a joint documentary film created by themselves. Finally, a special program called Deconstructions is inviting us to rethink the colonial heritage and imperial narratives that are still impacting our vision of history, culture, and our own identity. Together with the Dovzhenko Center, we digitized documentary films of Ukrainian directors from the 80s and 90s, and they will get a second life on the big screen with us. Let's have a look at the promo.
Ну що, ми обіцяли нагадувати.
Friends, we will keep reminding you that the festival is running a fundraiser for the Armed Forces of Ukraine together with the Hurkit Charitable Foundation. We are running a fundraiser for evacuation vehicles and for treatment of the wounded. And to be able to raise a little bit more, we asked Max, who has been specially trained for this, to reach into the camp and to present some of the items that we will be handing out to some of those of you who have contributed. Unfortunately, Vasil Baidak is not here today, but he's a big expert on these little rafts. So we've got a few custom items that we would like to use to coerce you into donating. So the way this works is you raise your hand, you make a bet, then another friend of yours makes a bet that's larger, and we're running an auction, and we keep going until the item is sold. That's the idea. Let's see how this is going to work in reality. So the first lot is a package of Docudays souvenirs. What's inside, you will learn once you get it, but spoiler, you cannot buy this. You can only get it, or you can win it as part of the auction. You won't be able to buy this anywhere with a fixed price. So everything we donate here is for the armed forces. Will I get a 1,000 hryvnias? I know everyone in this room. So Olena is contributing 1,000 hryvnia. Can I get 1,100? 1,100. Yes, I see a hand. The other hand is 1,200. Yes, very good. I've got a 1,200. Anyone wagering 2,000? Do I hear you right? Is it 4? No, it's 2. 2K? Anyone wanting to do 4K, ladies and gentlemen? You can also cooperate. You can chip in. There are items to share. So the current bet is 2K. Is anyone contributing 2.5? 2.5 here from the gentleman. Very good. Is anyone responding? 5,000. 5,000 from Her Excellency Katerina Maternova over here. The EU is chipping in properly. Oh, friends, well, shall we back off the moment our foreign guests have pressed a little bit? Okay, that's a 5,100. Are you not from the European Union? Just checking. Okay, cool. So 5,100 yes, 5,200 1. Will you respond? 5,300, or shall we make it 5,500? Okay, so Olena Mason is now falling out. Okay, so the bet is 5,500. Do we have a carrier of 6,000 hryvnias in the room? 6,000 is the contribution from Her Excellency the Ambassador. 6,500, anyone? 6,500. So it's 6,001, and I am deeply ashamed of you, Ukrainians. What's your name, Mr. Andriy? Here, thank you for defending the dignity of Ukraine. So 6.5, 6.5, 1, 6.5, 2. Okay, I see a hand. 7,000. Very good, very good. What's your name? Katerina. Andriy, Katerina here is offering 7. All right, a serious conversation with your partner. I understand. I respect that. So, will you wager 7.5? 7.5. Katerina, a response from you to 7.5. Shall we say 8? A confident 8,000? Let's have it. Let's have 8,000. Okay, let's say, well done to Katerina. You have received your societal support and admiration. The lot now belongs to you. I wanted to keep going. That's not how this works. Okay. I thought I just thought I would support Katerina a little bit. What if today's her birthday? Okay, so it's 8,001. 10,000. Ladies and gentlemen, Europe is contributing 10,000 hryvnias, which is the equivalent of around 200 euros, but still. Okay, so it's 10,001. Katerina, Miss Masson, Mr. Andriy, I'm looking at you. 10,002. Final rows. Okay, you're Katarina, and she's Katerina, just like in Shevchenko's poems. Okay, so 10,002. Anyone in the final rows? Anyone who's rich? I think they're waiting for the next lots. Then it's 10,003. Your Excellency, congratulations. Another tranche of support has been made. Please approach this lady over here and she will brief you on what needs to be done. Okay, we have 2 more lots to go. Okay, Max is presenting the next item. This is a mysterious book, a book that obviously you wouldn't be able to survive in Ukraine without. This is the book called How to Win the Information War by Peter Pomerantsev, signed by the author. Peter, can you confirm this is your actual signature? This isn't a fake? He would need to look, he says. He would need to check. Okay, the autograph is authentic. So, Peter Pomerantsev's book, How to Win the Information War, signed by the author. Let's start with your basic traditional 1,000 hryvnias. Wow, so many hands. So, Mr. Andriy is determined to go home with something. Then I have another hand, 2,000 hryvnias. Very good. 3,000 hryvnias, anyone? Okay, I see the 3,000 here, and then 4,000 here. That's how we roll around here. 4,000 hryvnias. 5,000, anyone? I'm watching your hands. Anyone? Mr. Andriy, why are we slacking? 5,000. Very good, Mr. Andriy. Katerina, are you interested in the book, perhaps? 5,000 hryvnias by Mr. Andriy here. Anyone here? Okay, avoiding eye contact, I see. 7,000. What's your name? Anneta. Anna. So, Anna here is contributing 6,000 hryvnias. 7? Do I hear 7? 6,200. Okay. 7? Is it 7? Very good. Very good. Peter, look how much your book costs, right? You might want to reevaluate. Would you like your own book with an autograph? 8,000 hryvnias? Can we interest you? How much? We've passed 7,000. We don't go down, I'm afraid. What's your name? Okay, Miss Olga here is contributing 8,000 hryvnias. I can start reading the annotation if someone doesn't contribute 8,000. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, anyone? 10K. Very good. What's your name? The mister's name is Samurai, and he is contributing 10,000 hryvnias. Any other samurais in the room? I think the samurai is unique. Have we got anyone with 11,000 hryvnias? Anna here is contributing 11,000. Mr. Andriy, okay, I see you're not willing to do it anymore. Olga is already trying to fundraise around here. Yeah, you can buy it together. One person reads, another person reads. So will you chip in and will you wager 12K? Or was this just small talk? Okay, right. So it's Anna here with 11,000. It's 11,001? 11,000 going twice. 12,000 from Mr. Samurai. Anna, will we continue the fight? I told you there was just one samurai in the room. So it's 12,000 going once. 12,000 going twice. Last chance. 12,000 going thrice, and it's sold to Mr. Samurai here. Congratulations. Please walk up to Sophia after we're done, and she will explain what you need to do. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the final prize. I will be tearing this from my own heart and soul. You have to confess, you can't run a household without this item. You're gonna need it in the bedroom, in the dining room, in the bathroom, in your garden, in the corridor, as you're walking to work. Ladies and gentlemen, the hint is that it's on the stage with us. It's this fantastic double pendulum. The problem is that you will only be able to pick it up after the festival. It needs to keep working. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a powerful entrance into contemporary art. Let's have it launched, and that's how it works. So with this, you are a Biennale participant. You can approach Pinchuk Art Center and contribute it to them. 10,000 hryvnia at least. Ladies and gentlemen, without this pencil that is slowing it down, it would go on for days and days. You know, it would be running all the time. I mean, how can you really run a household without this, right? Let's start with 1,000 hryvnias. Very good. 1,000 hryvnias from Elena over here. Anyone bidding 2? 2,000 hryvnias, yes? That's not how this works. How much? 10? Right away? Are you giving 10 right away? Okay, we have a wager of 10,000 hryvnias. So the person knows how to see value in things, right? Olena can't be so wrong. She can't just be completely crazy. What if we sell something else while we're here, okay? Okay, is anyone contributing 11,000? Does anyone have a dacha? Why do you need a dacha? You just put it near the entrance and all of your neighbors will be asking to give it a spin. Okay, so 10,000 going once. Shall someone contribute 10.5 if 11 is too much? 10,000 going twice? 10,000 sold to Olena Masson over here. She is now the owner of this fantastic symbol of Docudays UA 2026. Starting next week, you will be able to see my favorite pendulum at the Basaman bar at Podil here in Kiev. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. I felt we got something nice going and we could sell even more things here.
Okay, we will watch the film soon, but before that I would like to say that our festival will last until June 11th, and after that there will be one more day where you'll be able to see more films. You'll be able to watch most of the films online at docuspace.org, and then the films will be available all over Ukraine in October. Almost all films in the Docudays Festival programs have subtitles, and 15 films have audio description. The films will be available in Zhovten cinema and online on the Docuspace platform. All events of the Rights Now human rights program will be interpreted in sign language. And before moving to the final part of our ceremony, we would like to express gratitude to our donors. So we started with a doubtful performance, and now one more weird thing you'll see on this stage. The 23rd Docudays UA Film Festival is held with the support of the European Union, the Embassy of Sweden in Ukraine, the State Film Agency of Ukraine, International Media Support, British Council, Embassy of Spain, Lithuania Film Center, Embassy of Lithuania, Institut Français, Embassy of Denmark, Embassy of Ireland, Polish Institute, Embassy of Switzerland, Czech Center, Kyiv, Embassy of Belgium. Commercial partners: Bursa, Lush, Batch, Selam, Delamar, Koyalnik, Villa Tinta, and Zinteco Group. Festival partners: Arte France, Art Wizard, Dovzhenko Center, Inconvenient Films, Museum in the Dark. General media partner: Suspilne, Public Broadcaster, Громадська Art-Luke, Toronto Television, Character, Modern Times Review. Information partners of the Human Rights Program: Zmina Human Rights Center, Media Initiative for Human Rights, Graty. Information partners of the War Archive: Ukraine, Точка Сходу. Information partner DocuPro, Bazirik Media. Festival organizers: NGO Docudays, Ukrainian Helsinki Human Rights Union, Charity and Health Fund, Center for Modern Information Technologies. We would also like to thank the choir members, choir of the Church of the Nativity in Podil. Please give them a round of applause. Katerina Shimko, Valeria Husek, Pavlo Sverdlov, Vladislav Tarachan, and Alona Yaremchuk. The music for the ceremony was written by Anton Baybakov. Thank you so much. Let me remind you once again that you can grab your lots if you reach out to Sofia, our volunteer, at the info point after the ceremony. And now we will present you this year's opening film. It is called Born Fake. The film is called Born Fake. You say you shouldn't believe everything you see on TV, but the protagonist of our film decided to test this in practice, and for several years he has successfully sold fake news to major TV channels. This is not only a fascinating news about media scam, but also an opportunity to think about why we believe what we see on the screen. The producer of this film wanted to be on this stage, but he read a Russian fake about the shelling of Kyiv and did not come here. That's it. This is the official opening of Docudays Film Festival. Thank you so much for coming here. Sorry if something went wrong, as they say in Ukraine. Sorry for being less elegant when undressing. Have a great screening. Enjoy the film. Thank you so much for being with us.